Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. And which side of the ball will shine brightest during the spring? I see that as that's been a subject, asked in, different ways, by certain people. People covering the Canes have spoke on it. I was supposed to record this video last week actually, but I kind of got sidetracked. I need to come up with a better plan in terms of uploading. But in my opinion, I think it's the defense. I think it's the defense for a myriad of different reasons. Most notably, I would say the speed on the defense. I would also say the experience on the defense. And I also think defensively, we have better depth. And a fourth one would be, I don't think we have as many question marks along the defense that we have on the offense. Now, obviously, those are the type of things as far as like the question marks. Those are kind of things that, potentially, are questions that you may, get answered, in fall. But I'm just speaking right now. I think the defense is in a better place right now and should thrive more so than the offense. Not saying that the offense is going to take a step back, but I think this is the first time, and this is just my opinion. This is the first time, in my opinion, I think since maybe the mid 2000s, that I think that the defense is just more talented than the offense is. I mean, I just think it is, honestly. Again, just going by, production, you can throw star rating in there, if that's what you want to do. But I like to stick to the production that I think we can pretty much, count on. We've seen it. And I know one of the things that obviously we as fans do, we get the snippets back from, scrimmages. And if the offense has a good day, we start worrying about, what is the defense, what is the defense going to do? And, and vice versa. But I'm kind of going in this particular spring a lot more level-headed. I almost, I honestly expect to hear more positives about the defense than I do expect to hear about the offense, honestly. Because again, when I get to those question marks on the offensive side of the ball, and again, these are question marks that, are going to be, things that are brought up during the spring. Is Tyler Van Dyke back? Status of Zion Nelson, even though he's not a participant, how will Jalen Rivers, look in that particular role? Francis Marigoa has, by reports, elevated to the first team right tackle. And, I don't like to put those grand expectations on players, but people have said he's a generational talent. So if you're a generational talent, those are the type of things that, we kind of expect for you to, make a mark and, get into the depth chart. Running back, at this particular point, we don't know what we have in terms of how healthy can guys be. Don Chaney's bang. Well, it seems that Don Chaney's still a full participant, but at this particular point, you got to handle him with kid gloves. Henry Parrish, workhorse, bell cow back last year. How hard do you want to run him? Citizen is still out. I don't think either the freshmen were early enrollees. So, wide receiver, who's going to be wide receiver 1? Who's going to be wide receiver 2? It seems that we have 3 or 4 guys that could be comparable or step into that slot role. Will X, stay as a starter? Will Brashad overtake him? Or will we have a situation with Ray? And then as far as the offensive line, is it going to be better? Tight end situation, obviously we got Cam McCormick. It seems that he has assumed the tight end 1 role on the offense. Does he offer a matchup problem? I mean, what is it? I mean, you got questions on defense, but I don't think it's that many questions. And getting back to the whole speed dynamic of it, I did a video a week or 2 ago, and 7 out of the top 10 fastest players based on that particular graphic, they were on the defensive side of the ball. So I expect a fast defense. I expect a hungry defense. We're going back to a more simple system that, kind of takes the thinking out of things. And then you got Cam Kitchens, first team All-American. So you got the leadership there. And I was thinking about this to myself, and I said, who are the actual leaders on the team? Not just offense or defense, but who are the leaders? And some people may disagree, but I think the top two leaders on the team are on the defensive side of the ball, and both of them play the same position. I think James Williams and Cam Kitchens are the two leaders on the entire team, not just the defense. I think they're the two overall leaders. So just that type of leadership and that type of mindset, I feel like it's going to permeate along the defense. Cam Kitchens made mention that Caleb Spencer was a guy that, was pushing him in drills. And so that's very, very encouraging to hear. But it's also encouraging to know that Caleb Spencer understands that, hey, this is the guy, this is the level that I want to get to. And I don't necessarily think we have that type of player on the offensive side of the ball, where I think guys are looking and say, hey, I want to be that guy. I think more positions are settled on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, guys may, come and go, but it's just so much uncertainty on the offensive side of the ball when we really just peel the skin back to say that the defense should not just reign supreme this particular spring. I mean, I'll be excited, Now, I don't want it to be a situation, excuse me, similar to last spring, which kind of like was a fool's gold type of thing, when we were hearing that, hey, the corners are locking the receivers up and, it's hard to get open out there. We were thinking, oh, man, well, this is great news. And then we get in the game and realize, oh, that's why they were locking guys up. They can't get open, period, in many aspects. And plays are not being necessarily called in frequently enough to help guys get open. So, but I think this particular season, if that is what's said, with bringing Kevin Beard back, then I'll put a lot more stock in it, because I just couldn't understand guys putting a whole bunch of stock in a guy that, as a receiver coach, that you inherited 4 first-round receivers and you were just there for a year. I mean, how much impact could you have possibly made? But that's another discussion for another day. But I do think that the defense will reign supreme again for the reasons I named: depth, speed, leadership, and they just don't have that many question marks, right? They just don't have that many question marks. And then I would venture to say, when looking at even though it's the same thing on the offensive side of the ball, but I think that defensively, when we look at it, we got some guys, some guys that, especially on the defensive line, if they play really well, we're talking about some guys that could be, top 4-round picks. I don't like to say, oh, such and such would be a 1st-round pick or 2nd-round pick. I don't like doing it because it's such a finite amount of guys that get drafted anyway. So just having the ability to get drafted, whether it's round 1 or whether it's round 7, I think that's a blessing. But I do think that we have some guys that can go within the first 5 rounds of the NFL draft. Harvey, Taylor, obviously Akeem Mesidor, Cam, if he opts to go out, James Williams, Brown, Daryl Porter, to Corey Couch. I just, not saying that we're going to have a slew of NFL draft picks, but I do think that this is the money year for a lot of guys on the defense side of the ball. And I think that intensity and that level being led by the 2 overall leaders on the team should push guys this year, especially seeing as that they're getting back to a defense that I honestly feel like guys are more comfortable with playing in. Not saying that they didn't feel comfortable in, Kevin Steele's system, but I think that Kevin Steele system is, in my opinion, it needs to be something where you have some veterans, you got some guys that can teach some younger guys. And again, like I said, I just didn't feel like Manny left enough talent because he didn't recruit enough talent defensively. But that's just my mindset on things in terms of spring. I think that the defense is going to shine the brightest. But as always, man, Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And as always, it's all about the you.